Hi, everybody, and welcome to the show. If you've not been here before, this is Coffee with Craig. This is where I chat about some of the things happening in the world from the perspective of a psychic medium. And I'm a psychic medium, of course. And we talk with the perspective of talking about what will happen, what's happening. And one of my predictions is just recently seems to be coming true. So I just want to expand a little bit on that. And will Trump have a third term in office? So, welcome to Coffee with Craig. Well, hi again, and welcome to a very brief Coffee with Craig today, because I just want to tackle this one point. And if you're here for the first time, do subscribe and give us a thumbs up as well, everybody, if you can, when you see the show, because it helps with the algorithm. Sorry to help keep pressing that home, but it is so important nowadays. So, you may have watched my recent predictions for 2025. I think I published them about 3 to 4 weeks ago now, and I published some other ones just for the USA and so forth. And a few things are coming up. Firstly, briefly, I predicted that Trudeau would go very soon. I think that's about to happen. So watch this space. I feel that's going to happen. There's been all sorts of rumbles in the Canadian Parliament, but that's going to happen soon. But this is the one that I think is most interesting, actually. Now, I said that Trump would, well, there would be moves for Trump to have a third term. That's how I think I exactly phrased it. But everybody on all of you on the site, so many of you were piling in saying, "Oh, Craig, you're an absolute idiot. That can't be the case. It's not possible to do that. There's the amendments that you can't do that. It's just impossible." Well, is it? Because now those questions are already being raised, and these caught me a bit by surprise, because I felt this coming, but I felt this would be much later. But already we've had it today. Now, there's this guy called Steve Bannon. I don't know if those in the UK might not know of him, but he's come up with this quite explosive theory. Now, Bannon, if you remember, was Trump's former White House strategist. And he's just recently suggested that Trump could seek a third term in office by challenging the 22nd Amendment. Take a look at this.
Donald John Trump is going to raise his hand on a King James Bible and take the oath of office. His third victory in his second term. And the Viceroy, Mike Davis, tells me, since it doesn't actually say consecutive, that, I don't know, maybe we do it again in 28. Are you guys down for that? Trump 28? Come on, man.
So he was speaking, I think, there in New York for the Young Republicans Club or something like that. And he argued that the amendment doesn't require presidential terms to be consecutive. Now, that implies that Trump could run again in 2028. So he's saying, well, yeah, he was. And so it kind of challenges what all of you've been saying, quite rightly, on the comments, that the 22nd amendment, you were saying it was ratified in, I think it was 1951 under FDR's 4 terms or something like that. And it very strictly limited the presidency to just 2 terms in office. And it clearly states in that, and I know, while you were saying you're an idiot, Craig, you can't say that. I was aware of this actually, but it clearly states that the person can't be elected more than twice. Now, Trump has kind of almost hinted at it before, I think you've got to say, but never said he would do this. But there's so many practical legal challenges. I said also I saw that vision of the full moon, and you remember, with I still don't quite understand it, with the judges and the law. Well, could that be part of what's going to happen? Those go and watch the main video. I'll put it at the end of the video if you've not seen it yet. But could it be that we're going to try to repeal the 22nd Amendment? I mean, they're going to need, it's very hard to do. They need a super majority in Congress. I think it requires 2 to 3 approval rate or something like that. I don't really know my American politics. I'm a psychic, not a pundit, but and it would need to be ratified by 3/4 of the state. So a lot of those out there that legal scholars are saying, no, it's virtually impossible. But is it possible? Lots of strange things have happened recently, haven't they? And this really does matter on lots of different levels, actually, because Bannon's remarks, they're going to energize all of the Trump supporters out there, aren't they? And it's going to be it will feed into the negative idea that there's an over authoritarian politics coming out, so I think they're going to have to tread very, very carefully with this. But and it also implies, actually, doesn't it, it suggests that if this was passed, that Trump's third victory reflects the ongoing claims that the 2020 election was a false outcome. Anyway, it's going to be very interesting to see how this develops, and whether it will develop into a complete challenge for a third term. Right. So there it is. I just thought I'd put that one out there for you because it interested me. And thanks to the number of patrons that commented on this to me and sent me a couple of private messages. So thank you for those of you that spotted this one. And if you want to become a patron, just have a look in the description below. And actually, if you prefer these little short type videos, and particularly short videos, have an also look at our other channel, because I've got a second channel which just shows shorts, only little clips. So have a look in the description. If you've not joined that already, now's a good time to have a look. They're just me and Jane clips mainly, but there'll be all sorts on there with little short questions that people bring up. Okay, well, thanks for joining me for a short coffee with Craig, and see you again shortly. Bye for now. If you look back at my earlier predictions, and in particular the predictions I made on the newspaper, the Sun's website, I did actually say on there, the actual words were, there will be a flu epidemic linked to bioterrorism. And my thoughts are that Liz Truss will make it to the final, be the next PM. I think she will actually have a final battle between her and Rishi Sunak. We've not seen the full end of Boris Johnson either, I tell you. But Rishi Sunak actually will eventually, I feel, be the next leader of the Conservatives. So I think there's going to be a few conflicts that Britain's going to be drawn into, including I think Russia is going to take some moves against Ukraine. I think she will make it past her platinum jubilee, which comes up this year. But I think after that, we'll see a sudden and quick deterioration in the Queen's health. And I think we might lose the Queen towards the end of 2022. There's going to be a huge backlash from over the Netflix programs and screening, because I feel it comes out at a bad time. Charles will come to become King Charles, but his reign, I feel, will be short. I said that Prince Charles would be hit by an egg. And of course, there it is, all in the press today. Marvellous person she is. She does something extraordinary. It could even put her life a little bit at risk with the way she did this. Okay. Is there something also there that's not been spoken about fully? Did they also discover something with Kate that wasn't quite right? A huge swarm of people knocking the doors of Europe and America. And I feel that Ukraine conflict is going to be a kind of a grinding conflict that goes on and on. I also feel that there's something going to happen in the Middle East as well. I feel as if there's going to be a sudden and unexpected thing happen in the Middle East. So I feel they're going to take it into their own hands, and I feel we're going to get a strike from Israel. This is going to be one of the significant things in 2023. I've said it before and I say it again. I feel Israel, with the help from the USA, will strike the Iranian nuclear facilities. I said that there would be an earthquake that would shake New York. At this time, I've been sensing that for a while that there's going to be a big earthquake of some sort. And this could well come up during April period. I'm seeing a bridge collapsing, actually the whole infrastructure of it going. I predict something very dark happens to President Joe Biden. He's been pulled from power, sacked, as it were, and quite close to the election time. But I kind of sense it's more to do with illness, perhaps, senility, and people stopping him because of that. So it could even be that a new candidate will run for the presidential nominee. I predict that Trump will win the November 2024 election. And I feel very strongly that the black vote is going to move towards Trump. See him as a sort of a bit of a cool guy. I can't see Trump being put in jail despite what they're throwing at him. I can't see a jail sentence with him. But I get the feeling one of the candidates has an attempt on the candidate's life. Could there have been a plan to assassinate either him or Trump, perhaps? There's going to be an assassination attempt on Trump, I think. And that will fail, but he might maybe get wounded or something like that.